I'm Jean Shafiroff. Welcome to Successful Philanthropy. This show is designed to highlight the work of philanthropic leaders here on the eastern end of Long Island and then beyond. With us today is Ann Liguori, founder of the Ann Liguori Foundation. Hi, Ann.
Jean, hi, how are you?
And who do we have with us today?
This is Sky, our 13-year-old golden retriever, and I brought him because I know how much you love dogs and how much work you do raising money for, animals, and we do a lot as well. The focus of our foundation is really to raise money for cancer research, but we do raise money for various charities that pertain to animals. So I thought we'd bring Sky.
Yes, well, Sky is
hello.
Adorable, and as a lot of the viewers know, in my home we have 5 rescue dogs. We have 2 Chihuahuas, Charlie and Henry. We have Daisy, who's a pit bull. We have Sherman, a mixed breed, and then we have Rosita, another mixed breed. And as Ann will tell you, these animals bring us tremendous love. So, Sky, how old are you?
Over here, Sky. He's looking at the camera.
Well, Anna, anyway, we are here to speak about the Ann Liguori Foundation. And for the viewers, Ann has started this private foundation many years ago designed to raise money to give to different cancer research charities. And specifically, how many years ago did you start this?
Well, the golf tournament's been going on for 22 years, but 12 years ago, we put the foundation together to raise money. Initially, our proceeds benefited the American Cancer Society, and after doing that for a long time, we put the foundation together so we could help a number of other organizations. So, way back when I was in college, I lost my dad to cancer.
Sorry.
I was a junior in college, and then a year and a half later, Jean, my brother, who was only 22 at the time, he died of leukemia. And so we were hit hard as a family within a year and a half of each other. And when the American Cancer Society came to me, when I had moved to New York and started my sports broadcasting career, and they came to me and asked me if I would host a charity golf tournament in West Hampton, my home. And I said, absolutely. Anything I can do to raise money and awareness for cancer research, cancer prevention, cancer care. And so we started doing this golf tournament in my own town of West Hampton. We were at the West Hampton Country Club for many, many years. It was a celebrity tournament, so I would invite all my friends in the sports world and the entertainment world. And it really was great. We had fivesomes. In golf, there's foursomes, and our 5th person was a celebrity. And then 12 years later, we put the Ann Liguori Foundation together, and we started going to even more prestigious golf courses like Maidstone, Friars Head, Sabonic, Atlantic, and we decided to cut out the celebrity portion of it as fivesomes to reduce the number to foursomes, and we still have a lot of our celebrity friends who come. But, we've done a lot of great work in 22 years, Jean, and our 22nd annual Ann Liguori Foundation Charity Golf Classic will take place Thursday, October 8th.
And it'll be right here in the Hamptons. And where are you holding it?
At the Maidstone Club in East Hampton.
Nice. Well, that's a beautiful club for anyone who knows the Maidstone Club. And for those of our viewers who don't, we all love to watch golf. I personally can't play golf. I've tried, but that little ball with that club, I just have swung and missed, and as much as I've tried, and I haven't tried that much, I have to be honest, because when I was growing up, I was involved in ballet and gymnastics, and the racket sports or golf were just not in the cards for me because I wanted to try to do the best I could with the gymnastics and the ballet, and no one can do everything. No one has the time, and so I did what I could. But golf is such an important sport, and I just love that you hold a golf tournament, and what you do is you hold this and you raise money. I don't know what percentage you give to charity, but I think a good portion of your profits to charity and to cancer charities, which I think is so important. And I know American Cancer. I was honored by them one year, and they are a great organization. So tell me a little bit more. So you started this 12 years ago, your own foundation.
Right.
And what is it like? My husband and I have a foundation, but what was it like for you to start a foundation? Can you tell our viewers a little bit, because it's work to have a foundation that raises money.
Right.
In the case of our family foundation, we just use our own money, but Anne has done this, and each year she gives away quite a significant amount of money, which is very honorable and wonderful, and she's out there working to bring in the money for this foundation. And tell us a little bit about what it's like to have a foundation, and there are a lot of guidelines and rules you have to follow, and so
well,
how did you get involved in this?
Thank goodness I have great advisors.
Very important.
Because I'm a sports broadcaster. So I have great advisors, and Liz Giordano, who is the CEO of the Head Injury Association here on Long Island, she's a dear friend of mine. She's on my board, and she is the one that suggested that I put a foundation together so we could help a number of organizations who deal with cancer research, cancer care, and cancer prevention. And so we give a good portion to St. Jude's. Everybody knows St. Jude's and the great work that St. Jude's does.
With children primarily,
with children.
Yes. And they're a national charity, St. Jude's, and they raise an enormous amount of money. But think about it. Imagine if you had a child with cancer. Well, if you did, you'd want to know about St. Jude's, and so it's wonderful that you're donating to them.
Right.
And I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's all right. St. Jude's, everybody knows about St. Jude's and the great work they do. Nobody who goes there has to pay for, their accommodations,
right.
or, they're so well taken care of. And the research they do there is just incredible. I hear so many heartwarming stories, inspirational stories about young people who go there and, given not that long to live, and the doctors
Tragic.
come up with these who've done research for so long, and they've come up with so many different ways to keep these children alive and well and healthy again. It's just great stories. We also donate to the Samuel Waxman Cancer Research Foundation, which
Another
is,
good group.
Samuel Waxman and his team. Kids Need More, which has a camp. They did a camp for many, many years right out here on Shelter Island for young people who have cancer and their siblings. And it's 1 week out of every summer, and we'd go and visit, the camp, and to see these young people just kind of forget about their disease and their treatment. They're going through, these chemo treatments, and to see
So
them
hard.
participate in all these fun, normal activities, that anybody would participate in at camp is just heartwarming. So we've helped them significantly through the years. And, years ago, Jean, we would hire this nutritionist who was also a musician, Jill Jane. And, so important to eat properly and to educate young people about good nutrition and the importance of, regular exercise. So we would bring her into all these public schools out here to do these assemblies for young people, to actually teach these young people what they should be eating and what they should, what
Broccoli
their parents,
and
right, vegetables
carrots
and fruits and healthy things, to stay away from processed food and sugars, and because diet is so important as a preventative for any really disease, but particularly for cancer as well. So we're very proud of the work we did. We brought her out to a number of schools out here on the east end of Long Island, and she would entertain these kids, sing and dance, and have all these interesting messages about good nutrition. So, we've come up with ways that we can educate young people about that.
And what happened with that program? Did the schools take over, or you decided maybe to?
We did it for a number of years. Yeah, it's obviously, it was a great program, and we had people come up to us, and teachers and principals saying it was the best assembly they ever had. So we really have to kind of resurrect that program again. It was so successful, so we'll have to.
Yes, and as anyone knows, when you have charitable interest, you may want to be involved in everything, but you can't do everything at once. And so it's really just heartwarming to hear all that Anne's charity does. And tell me, I want to talk a little bit about golf specifically and the charity world, because it seems like there is not a golf event that is not, there isn't one golf event that doesn't give to charity. It seems like they all give to charity, which is so wonderful. And what is it about golfers? They all seem to love to play the game and get involved where money is going to charity. What is it? Tell me.
Well,
why do the golfers all love charity?
Well, the professional golf world, and I cover, you know, the Masters, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship. I cover all sports, but particularly golf in the last 20 years. And I have to say, it has to be one of the most charitable sports in the professional sports arena. Every week they have pro-ams, obviously not now during the pandemic. They've cut back on a lot of things right now, but under normal circumstances, they would have a pro-am to start the week, Monday and Tuesday, and all the money they raise goes to charity. And this happens with the PGA Tour, Jean, and with the LPGA Tour, the Women's Tour, and the Champions Tour as well, the seniors. So, you know, it's just such a giving industry. And one of the things about doing a charity golf event every year, we get everything donated. We have great swag bags that each participant gets as they, you know, register for the tournament when they come that day. And we do really beautiful goodie bags, and everything is donated. And then the prizes from, you know, the apparel companies that donate to us, to the golf club manufacturers, to, you know, just so many different products. They're all donated for our charity golf tournament. So the whole golf community, I've been in the golf business for many years now, in the TV business and radio business, but so many people are so generous in our sport. And
right. Well,
it's heartwarming to see.
And it seems like the sponsors love to, the different companies love to sponsor the golf events and other sports events that are involved in giving to charity. And this show, Successful Philanthropy, is intended to say something about philanthropy, and specifically that any one of us can be a philanthropist. And remember, golf, if it's not golf, it's something else that you might be able to do to get you connected to charity. We can become philanthropists by giving our time, our knowledge, and then for those who have available resources, I believe we absolutely must give available resources, because think about it, to be wealthy and not to want to give to charity, well, it's not a good thing. So, and even anyone can give something small. It doesn't always have to be money. Time is incredibly important. Now, do you take volunteers? For the event? And say I'm a young person, I love golf, or maybe I don't play golf, but I want to help you because I believe in what you're doing. And how can I get involved?
So yes, we do take volunteers. We appreciate our volunteers because, as you know, at any event you have registration, and you need a lot of people running that registration table and giving out our goodie bags and signing people in. And you know, there are a lot of people that put on these golf tournaments, and they're all volunteer. And then during the tournament, you know, we have the long drive competition, and we have the closest to the pin competition, even a hole-in-one hole, you know, for the car, for the opportunity to win a car. So we have to put volunteers out on these holes to kind of run these competitions. And then when you move on after the tournament to the awards dinner and the cocktails, and then the auction, you know, to run a successful live auction, you need volunteers out in the audience to secure people's donations. So yes, we love volunteers, and you know, our volunteers always enjoy being at this golf event. You're at a gorgeous golf course in a gorgeous clubhouse.
Agree.
For a great cause, and hopefully it's a beautiful day because the weather is a big factor, obviously, for, you know, these golf tournaments.
And do you have an application online that someone could fill out if they want to donate their time?
Definitely. They can go to anneliguori.com. We have a couple pages devoted to the foundation and to the charity golf tournament, and they can get a hold of us.
So I could just call you up or send you a little email and say, I want to volunteer.
And
I think that's very, very important. And then tell me, so getting back to your career, you have a radio show, correct? And at one point you had a TV show. What was the TV show like? Tell me, it was all about golf, right?
Well, actually, I have a show called Sports Interview with Ann Liguori, and it was, it's the longest running sports interview show hosted, owned, produced, and distributed by a woman. It aired for 17 years, Jean, where I interviewed every major sports legend.
Interesting.
From Mickey Mantle to Ted Williams to Sam Snead, Wilt Chamberlain, Gordie Howe, every sport. And it was an interview show. And, you know, like you, I love interviewing people. I love finding out, you know, what makes them tick, about their success stories. You know, just interviewed so many people. I have over 750 of these half-hour shows in my archives. And then,
are they on a YouTube channel? Or?
I know, you know, it's funny, somebody just asked me that. I do license out the footage to various networks who are looking for, you know, 5 minutes of Arthur Ashe or, you know, 10 minutes with John Daly, the golfer. And I'm going to have to put together a YouTube channel so people can start, you know, watching these classic golf shows. It's really a treasure chest of archives, Jean. And I'm writing my next book is about these sports legends who I've had the opportunity to interview on television. And, you know, the stories are timeless. They're just wonderful
really
stories.
interesting, yes. But you have a radio show.
I do. I have 2 radio shows. So I was the first woman to broadcast my own show on WFAN, which was the first all-sports radio station in the country. And this was going back to 1987 when it started. And that show aired for 27 years. The show was called Hey Liguori, What's the Story? And we had so much fun. It was a call-in sports show every week for that amount of time. And then I now host a show for WFAN called Talking Golf with Ann Liguori. And then I host a show called the Sports Interview Radio Show for the local NPR station out on the east end of Long Island, WLIW. And so that show's about all sports.
Well, you are the lady to go to for all the golf lovers out there. And getting back to starting a foundation, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to start a foundation?
Well, I would obviously talk to the experts. You know, talk to the attorneys, talk to the accountants, learn all you can about what it entails to put a foundation together and the do's and the don'ts, and then have a good team of advisors. Because as you know,
yep.
I'm a broadcaster. I am a sports broadcaster, a media specialist. The whole world of philanthropy is a niche world. That's your world. And so I really have a team of people that I consult with who, you know, make sure that everything is going well. And then, you know, it's really a lot of hard work, as you know.
Everything is. If you want to do something well, it's hard work. And I know in the case of our family foundation, and then my daughter has a charity, legal advice and other advice is really key, because you just don't want to start something and then find out that you're not following the law. Very important. No matter what you do, you have to follow the law. And so for most people, the best way to get involved in philanthropy is really start small, and just by making donations. And remember that when you make a donation, yes, it's tax deductible so long as you're not receiving goods and services. So you have to check that out with somebody. If you make a straight donation, all of that is tax deductible. If you're buying something at an auction, generally the value of that auction item is not deductible. These are things we all need to learn so that if the IRS comes knocking on your door, you don't have any problems. But most of the times, well, always a straight donation is tax deductible. So getting back to the world of golf, and is this televised, this golf tournament, or is there a way we can watch it?
I know. I'd love to televise it. You know, we go to these very exclusive golf clubs and who are opening their doors to us.
And they don't want to be televised.
They don't want
They like
TV
to be
cameras.
private.
Exactly.
Yes, but they're okay with you mentioning on television the name of the...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
And you know, there's so many, we're in golf paradise out here, Jean, on the east end of
agree.
Long Island. We
Beautiful.
have so many prestigious golf courses.
We're in paradise, period.
That's
this is
right.
The
Exactly.
Hamptons, I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I don't
really
think
is.
anyone listening or watching would disagree, correct? It's just beautiful. But it is a golfer's
From a
paradise.
golf perspective, I mean, you know, in a literally, you know, not a huge piece of land, right? Although the East End is pretty vast. But, you know, they're just, gosh, so many important historic golf courses out here. And, you know, we've been, as I said, to Friars Head. We've been to Atlantic. We've been to Maidstone, West Hampton Country Club. Sabonic hosted the U.S. Women's Open. You know, Shinnecock is here a lot of times when we have people come in from all over the country to play in our tournament every year, which is normally in June, by the way, and it got pushed to October 8th because of the pandemic. But when people come, they come for the whole week because they want to play these other golf courses, Jean. They want to have an opportunity to get on Shinnecock and to play Friars Head and to experience Maidstone and all these great golf courses. So the draw of golf out here really helps our fundraiser. People want to come and play these golf courses. A lot of times, you know, they wouldn't have an opportunity to play some of these exclusive clubs had it not been, you know, through a charity golf tournament.
That's right, and then a lot of people, there are many charity events that we attend, and in the auction they'll have a foursome at a very famous golf course somewhere, and who donates those? Usually the people who are members of those clubs, and I think that's a wonderful thing because not everybody can be a member of every club. Most people can't be a member of any club, and so given the opportunity to have a golf game somewhere, if you play golf, it's really very special. I want to talk a little bit about what else you do. I understand you have a little bit of a business on the side. You sell jewelry and that you give a percentage of the proceeds to cancer charities as well. Are you wearing anything right now?
Thanks so much for mentioning this. This is called the Hampton's Robe Collection, and I have the necklaces on and the bracelets and, you know, some earrings, but it's really, it's part of Dune Jewelry, D-U-N-E jewelry.com, and they designed this collection for me, Jean, and we named it the Hampton's Robe Collection, and it's sand from your favorite golf course.
Sky.
Sky
Hello,
wants to say
baby.
hello.
Hello. Oh, you are just
Stealing the
beautiful.
show again. What can we say?
Hello, Sky. Hello. Well, maybe Sky wants a little attention, and
He does.
the jewelry is beautiful.
The
but
jewelry's great.
I want to ask you now
Yes.
about animal charities because I know you're involved in giving. And which animal charities are you donating to? I think you mentioned to me before ASPCA.
Right. The
Hello.
And we have to
Hello.
really, when you talk about that, you have to really think about, you know, what it stands for, right? The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelties to Animals. That's a mouthful.
Yes.
But yes, we give to them every month.
A
and
wonderful charity.
It's a great charity.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of local charities, you know, that we support as well and that you're so involved with. And look at this dog.
Yes,
He
and-
loves you.
Well, you know, dogs and cats and all animals are very sensitive to people, especially if you own a dog or a cat. Well, there's a little bit of a scent, no matter how many showers you take. and the dog sense that, and the cat sense that. And
Well, he
I am
knows
an
that
animal
you're
lover,
yes,
so-
he
and
knows
I'm-
you're so kind-hearted, and he know dogs have that sixth sense, right? They know
Hi,
who
Sky.
dog lovers are, and he just loves the attention, and he knows, you know, the great work
Yes.
that you do, Jean.
well,
They can
thank
sense-
you.
they
And,
can
and
sense that.
out here on the eastern end of Long Island, we have some amazing animal shelters. We have Southampton Animal Shelter that I'm very involved with, and then we have ARF of the Hamptons, which is another excellent shelter. And then, you know, besides the shelters and all the volunteers and all the donors, we have so many people, individuals, who are adopting now during this COVID-19 pandemic. And for all of our viewers, during this very, very difficult time, having an animal can really, really help emotionally because it's a lonely period for many. And when you give an animal love, they give you love back, as Sky is doing with me right now. Hello,
They're so
baby.
therapeutic. You're absolutely right. Dogs pets are so therapeutic. The company, and there are a lot of therapy dogs out there that do go into cancer hospitals to
absolutely
for therapy for patients.
Yes. So we are here with Anne Liguori of the Anne Liguori Foundation. Anne, I want to thank you. And for our viewers, how can people donate to your foundation?
They can visit us at anneliguori.com, and we have pages devoted to our Charity Golf Classic and to the Anne Liguori Foundation. So it's ANNLIGUORI.com.
Wonderful. And goodbye, Sky. Goodbye, Anne.
Thank you so much.
And for all of our viewers, this concludes Successful Philanthropy. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much, and don't forget to tune in.